Hey folks, I'm back. So this morning I was in court and I handled, let me see if I can get that sun out of my eyes. There we go, that's a little better. This morning I was in court and I handled a DUI case from 3 years ago. And the reason that I want to tell you about this DUI is because it was a case that we never ever should have won. They actually charged it originally as a DUI for impairment, but there was no driving pattern and my client did not fail the field sobriety tests. So within a few months they amended it and charged it to a DUI metabolite. And a DUI metabolite is a violation of the law because you're operating a motor vehicle with any amount of controlled substance in your bloodstream. It's basically, if it's in your blood, you're guilty of the crime if they took your blood. And in my client's case, he did allow them to take the blood, and so the court was going to, continue with those charges. The prosecutor was going to continue with those charges. I filed a motion to suppress based on an Eighth Amendment argument that since it's not illegal to have a controlled substance of marijuana in your bloodstream in Colorado, that it can't be illegal to have that in your bloodstream in Utah, since all it does is stay in your bloodstream. There's no evidence that he ingested in Utah. There's no evidence that he was impaired while he was in Utah. And consequently, we ran a motion to say that it created a new status of person. And the Eighth Amendment of the Constitution and the subsequent case law does not allow us to create laws that prohibit specific statuses. Well, long story short, the judge, while she thought my argument was novel, didn't agree with it and denied that motion. So we set the matter for trial, and I was going to make the exact same argument. Come on, noisy tractor. Make the exact same argument to a jury, and then lo and behold, they decided to have it screened by the DA's office. And the DA's office decided that while he was in possession of a controlled substance, he was also in possession of a weapon. And so they dismissed and then refiled. But when they refiled, they started all over. And they dismissed after the 24 months had lapsed. And here, we can't file misdemeanors after 2 years. So I moved to have the misdemeanors dismissed, and they were. And then today, at my preliminary hearing, for some reason, the officer decided not to show up 3+ years later. It was a convoluted way to get here, but at the end of the day, we won. And the case was dismissed. And a lot of that was because my client stuck with me, had confidence that we knew somewhat of what we were talking about, and recognized that the government is not his friend.